Thank you, sir. Good evening to you all. This house will come to order. I, Vatsal Gaur, along with my co-anchor Bhavik Dabra, feel honored to welcome you all to the sixth debate of BPS Online English Debates 2020. The topic being debated today is This House Believes That Zoos Should Be Banned. Now let me introduce the participants. In proposition team, we have Amartya Roy as the lead speaker, second speaker as Lakshya Mehta, and third speaker as Dev Narayan. In the opposition team, we have Vidhan Bharadwaj as the lead speaker, Majid Das Gupta as the second speaker, and the third opposition speaker as Anupam Gangopadhyay. On behalf of the House, I extend a warm welcome to our judges. Participants, our first judge is Mrs. Gurvinder Kaur. Mrs. Gurvinder Kaur is an MA in English Literature and B.Ed from Punjab University. She has been teaching English for the last 25 years. Presently, she is serving as an English teacher in the Government Model School, Sector 34, Chandigarh. She is the co-curricular activities in charge of her school. She has many honors and awards to her credit. Our second judge, Mrs. Ritu Dey. Mrs. Ritu Dey has been working in the learning and development industry for the last 15 years. A seasoned instructional designer and a published author, she creates and designs training materials for varied target audience spread across the globe. Her son Amok Dey studies in BPS. And our third judge, Mrs. Sheetal Chauhan. Mrs. Sheetal Chauhan is an MSc in zoology and a diploma in disaster management. She is presently serving as a vice principal in a government senior secondary school in Shimla, Himachal Pradesh. She has vast experience of judging debates and various other competitions. Her son Arth Chauhan is a student in BPS. Over to Koanka.
Thank you, Vatsal. So, participants, before we start the debate, I'll just read out the rules and procedures for you all. So, the lead speaker will speak for 4 minutes and other two speakers for 3 minutes each. In conclusion, the lead speaker will sum up the team's arguments and will get 3 minutes to do so. A warning bell will be given 30 seconds before the end of the allotted time by the anchor by saying 30 seconds, and also at the end of the allotted time by saying time is over. The lead speaker of the proposition team will sum up the team's arguments, followed by the opposition. Not only the lead speaker of each team is to rebut the opposition arguments in his summing up speech, but the second and the third speaker are also expected to include rebuttal into their debates within the given time. Speakers shall not read out from the papers, however, they can occasionally refer to the notes. Penalty for reading and exceeding the time limit will be left to the discretion of the judges. Offensiveness, objectionable language, and gestures will be severely penalized. Performance of the participants will be judged on the following parameters. A. Content. That includes the matter, arguments, rebuttals, logic, relevance, reference, etc. That will help you gain 40 marks. B. Style. That includes the impact, poise, conviction, audience contact. That will also help you give 40 marks. C. Strategy. That includes the organization of the content, prioritization of the arguments, teamwork, rebuttal. That will help you gain 20 marks. At the end of his speech, each speaker will face a maximum of two cross questions from the opposition team. The question should be brief and unambiguous. The speaker must answer within 1 minute. After each debater finishes, I immediately call on the next debater to begin his address. So, participants, are there any questions regarding the rules? If any, please come up. Come up. If any, okay, so let's begin the debate. I'll call upon the lead speaker to deliver the resolution, define its terms, and outline the proposition case. Lead speaker of the proposition team, please.
Am I audible and visible?
You are audible.
Am I audible and visible?
Yeah.
A very good evening to respected principals, sir, respected judges, and august gathering present here. As chosen, our today's debate topic, zoos should be banned, is right for the very question of coexistence of living in a peaceful society. Being the lead speaker for the motion, I am Amartya Roy, will start speaking for the motion, followed by continuation of other valuable points by my other proposition team members. In the old times, the first tigers were brought to Rome and were gifted to Caesar Augustus by an unknown Indian ruler. My opposition team members, please don't forget that Roman animal games no longer exist. And nowadays, the prestige of a country is demonstrated by their feat in the space and not keeping animals in captivity like ancient rulers. Therefore, my first argument view is on animal rights in the zoos. While establishing zoos, India also confirmed to promote animal welfare and ensure animal safety with the enactment of Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act in 1960, the PCA Act. The Supreme Court of India created a history by banning Jallikattu, a bull fighting festival celebrated in Tamil Nadu. This ensured that the society should not be able to interrupt animal protection laws in a language of compassion and dignity. But are this happening? And then why the zoos are still mushrooming? Do you have an answer for this? Now focusing on my second argument view, that is the false sense of education by the zoos. There are definite evidence that zoos are not successful in educating people about animals. An early study of the zoo in New York in 1981 revealed that the zoo goers stop only to watch baby animals or those who are begging, feeding, or making sound, and so and so. Who wishes to argue on the fact that animal education, when it is reported in the zoo, that most common expression to describe the animals are cute, funny looking, lazy, dirty, weird, and strange? Now, focusing on my third argument view, wrong concept of research in the zoo. Who likes to claim that animal behavior can be learned by studying animals kept in unnatural conditions obtained in the zoo? It is clear that it is not the case with the knowledge for its own sake. There are other ways for our intellectual interest, one that do not exact such a moral high price. Finally, who will stand in front of my fourth argument view, highlighting on the illegal trade by the zoo? The majority of captive breeding program in many zoos do not release animals back into the wild. Surplus animals are sold not only to circus, but to canine hunting facilities and even for slaughter. Central government of India ordered prohibiting the sale of animals by the zoo in 28 October 1987. To add to this brutality, for example, when chimpanzees are taken from the wild into the zoos, the usual procedure is to shoot the mother and kidnap the child. Think, my opposition team members, do you still need to argue for the zoo for the very cause of cheap entertainment when the question of morality is under stake? Please think about it. Thank you.
30 seconds. Thank you, lead speaker, for his opening remarks.
Do you have any questions, opposition team? Opposition team, do you have any questions? Please come up.
No.
Okay, seeing none, just let's go to the lead speaker of the opposition team. Lead speaker of the opposition team, please.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
People forget the good that zoos do. If it weren't for zoos, then we would have so many species extinct today. Good evening, respected judges, my dear friends, and my worthy opponents. The agenda for today's debate is zoos should be banned. Well, I and my team members strongly oppose the motion. And I have some convincing facts to prove my statement right. By bringing humans and docile and wild animals together, not only educates people but also helps in preserving endangering species, their further breedings, and fostering those in safe environments. Zoos keep them safe from hunting, starvation, and predators, thus saving them from being extinct. A good zoo provides an enriched habitat in which the animals are never bored, are well cared for, and have plenty of space. Zoos are a tradition, and a visit to a zoo is a wholesome family activity. A good zoo provides, some zoos help rehabilitate wildlife and take in exotic pets that people no longer want or are no longer able to care for. Modern zoos are designed to give animals a high quality of life, averaging a longer lifespan in captivity than in the wild. And animals are safe from predators, and they are also safe from the irritation and pain of parasites because all injuries and illness are treated. They won't die of drought or starvation, and indeed, they get a high quality of diet with all the supplements required. They keep the animals in safe enclosure, and most zoos don't make the animals do tricks anymore. Seeing animals in zoos are amusing and fun to watch and learn about, but the money that people pay to go watch see them mainly goes towards the animal. This money helps to pay for everything zoo do is to help the animals and not just use them for entertainment. In addition, zoo provides a lot of get emotionally attached with the animals and take care of them with utmost affection. Moreover, zoo is a most important place where one can see, observe, and study those animals belonging to foreign countries. And if zoos are not there, then everybody won't be able to see giraffe, kangaroo, ostrich, etc. As everybody can't afford to go Australia to see them. Thus, I advocate the existence of zoo and demand them be increased in numbers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lead speaker opposition.
So before the proposition team asks the question from the opposition team, participants, please acknowledge the presence of Headmaster Sir. Welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us. So now, any questions, opposition team?
Yes, I have.
Okay, go on.
How many modern zoos give the good quality of life and healthy food to the animals that are kept in there? In India, I'm talking about India. Do you leave any data in this? And I want to know that, as per to my views, there are many zoos in India that keep animals in very small space, where in the wild they live in a large space. Please give me some knowledge about that.
They keep all the animals in same space. And as per do I have any knowledge? There are many rules by the government of India on this topic.
We cannot agree with that. But we cannot go agree with that.
Participant, you can't ask a question. If you want to follow up, that will be counted as the second question.
Okay, I will go for.
Okay, Lakshya Mehta,
Yes.
you want to ask a question?
Yes.
Go ahead.
How can you say that all the animals are kept in same means how can all the animals live in same space when elephants and other animals need big animals, larger animals need more space than the small animals?
I didn't mean to say that, but like to every animal has the same size as their proportion. Like the elephants will have big space and rabbits will have small space. They are same in proportion. Like this elephants are this much big and then the rabbits are big. And if you compare these two in their own way, they are almost same because elephants are big and rabbits are small.
Okay, thank you, lead speaker of the opposition team.
Now I call upon the second proposition speaker to come out with his arguments in support of the resolution. Second proposition speaker, please.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Lakshya Mehta and I am going to speak for the motion. Someone goes into your house, kidnaps you, tears you from your family, and jails you for life. How would you feel if that were you? Zoos should be illegal because humans do not have the right to capture animals, tear them from their families, and jail them even if the animal is threatened. Animals are abused, not given ample space and exercise, and they suffer from stress and depression. Many animals die because of their bad diet, not ample exercise, and bad living conditions. Many will not deny the fact that polar bears get only 10 meters of space, where in their natural habitat they walk hundreds of kilometers. In a safari park in England, they admitted that they had killed many monkeys. Everyone will agree with the fact that animals will no longer be able to survive in the wild because animals born in zoo will no longer know how to hunt and do other things that are necessary to survive in the wild. Two lionesses were released into the wild and were found dead from starvation, even though the area was full of hares, their natural prey. People from zoo say that they are preventing extinction, but what is the point if they will be jailed forever? They would be better off if we just keep them in their natural environment. If we keep building on zoos and continue keeping animals caged, they will be dependent on the human race. In fact, zoos are ethically wrong because humans do not have the right to capture and confine animals. Humans are animals too. What if other humans start putting other humans in zoos? Wo- wouldn't there be an outrage? What if other animals got smart and started keeping us in zoo? We would no doubt kill them for being dangerous. The real reason people have zoos is because they want to make lots of money. Zoos spend most of their money on concession stalls, gift shops, and other improvements. But they do not spend the money for the good of animals. The zookeepers do not take care of animals like they say they do. They care only about the money that their animals make for them. True sanctuaries rehabilitate animals until they are ready to go back to the wild. They do not breed animals,
30
jail
seconds.
them, and trade them to other zoos and circuses. Living things do not have the right to put other living things in zoos. So, at the end, I would only like to say that zoos should be banned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions, opposition team?
No.
Okay, seeing none.
Uh, Now I invite the second speaker from the opposition to put forth his case. Second speaker from the opposition, please.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
People usually think that zoos are prison for animals, but no, it's not true. Zoos keep animals in a safe enclosure, and most zoos don't make animals do any tricks anymore. Earlier, people used to treat animals very harshly, but modern zoos don't do that anymore. Zoos save endangered species by bringing them into a safe environment where they are protected from poachers, predators, habitat loss, etc. In zoos, food is given to them in proper interval of time, while in forests, they have to find their prey and eat. Food is easily available in zoos. Hardworking zoologists understand the need of the animals and provide the right food and care for them. When an animal gets sick, these experts know what treatment and medicines to give them in order to help them get better. It requires a lot of in-depth knowledge to understand the exact need of the animals which are cared for by the modern zoo. Handlers must know about their behaviors, their dietary requirements, and the health symptoms that necessitate a call to the on-staff vet. It is a unique opportunity for the students to study and train with the animals they love so that they can help the species later in life. Many zoos work with local universities and colleges to provide internships, allowing the next generation of caretakers to know how to protect the animals and their environment. Taking this into consideration, I want to add another argument which many people take wrong is in zoos, animals are kept in inhumane conditions and therefore should be banned. This argument is definitely taken wrong by many people. Earlier times there were cases of these, but modern zoos don't keep them in these conditions. Due to rapid increase in population and deforestation, habitats of many species are lowering down every moment, which affects animals very badly. Therefore, zoos are like rehabilitation centers for them where they can reproduce young limbs without any danger and also take care of them. In zoos, siblings are given a place to be protected from wild animals and also they are being taken care of.
30
People
seconds.
receive, people receive first-hand knowledge of how the animals behave and act. Most zoos also provide interactive shows with some of the animals during specific times throughout the week. Surrounding the exhibits, zoos usually have information describing the animals, its history, and natural location, while in forests they can. With this, I'm sure that the proposition team wouldn't be left with any doubt regarding the care taken in zoos and as they shouldn't be banned.
Thank you. Second speaker.
Do you have any questions, proposition team?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
If a animal is born in a zoo, then and if it is released in the wild, how will he know that how to hunt and do other things that are necessary to survive in the wild?
He will not be released in the wild as the scientists and zoologists will take care of him.
Okay, thank you. Any other question, proposition team?
Yes, I have one.
Okay, go on.
As you said that zoos are good for animal, I have a question that do you think that endangered species that are kept in the zoos live better in the sanctuaries? If yes, then please tell me that as you stated that zoos keep good care of them, and as they are taking care of them, they are making them not making them self-dependent. They are becoming dependent on the human. So in the centuries, in contrast of that, they live much better. And how in the zoos the captive breeding programs will go on in a safe procedure because it is a so small space. Can you give me some knowledge about that?
Sorry, I can't understand the question. The net is lagging.
Okay, dependent on the human. As it becomes dependent on the human, it is not good for them. And in contrast of this, I'm saying that when the zoo, animals are kept in the sanctuaries, they are not getting dependent on the human. So, for example, when we conduct the breeding programs, during the breeding programs, how can it be more safe in the zoos than the sanctuaries? Because the zoos have a small area. Can you give me any knowledge about that?
Can I ask Anupam to answer this question?
No, you can't ask. Instead, Amartya Roy can just ask the question in one line. Uh, Amartya Roy just ask a question in one line, and it should be just a brief question, not.
Okay, okay. I mean that the in the in the case of wildlife sanctuaries,
No, zoos are not effective, but they keep animals very, very safe.
say how can we conduct
No,
the
no follow-ups, no
okay,
follow-ups.
okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Now I call upon the third speaker of the proposition to extend the arguments in favor of the resolution. Third speaker, please. Third speaker.
No, you are not.
You are not
Not.
audible.
No, you are not audible. Instead, you can remove the AirPods. Yeah. You can remove it. You're not audible.
Audible?
Yeah, now you're audible.
Yes. Please go ahead.
How would you like it if you were taken from your natural habitat and thrown into a cage with a cold floor? Who wish to argue on this fact that in zoos, animals are out of their native habitats, transporting them great distances and keeping them in alien environments in which their liberty is severely restricted? For the most part, they are prevented from gathering their own food, developing their own social orders, and generally behaving in ways that are natural to them. If you think zoos should be banned, hear me out. Zoos are too small for some animals. Larger animals need more space to roam around. Elephants in the wild live more than 3 times as long as those kept in the zoos. Tigers and lions have 18 times less space in zoos than they would in the wild. This is why zoos should be banned. My next reason is some animals are in zoos are dying before they should. Like 40% of lion cubs die before 1 month of age. In India, there is a zoo called Bannerghatta. In the last 4 months, 273 animals died. But in Africa, elephants in the wild live more than animals that are in the zoo. Here is one more reason why zoos should be banned. Because Department of Zoos trade animals body parts like leopard skin, elephant horns, etc. In 2006, the whole pack of wolves at Highland Wildlife Park were killed after this whole social structure of the park had broken down. And in 2005, two wolf cubs and an adult female were shot dead at Dartmoor Wildlife Zoo. At last, I want to say that zoos should be banned. Thank you.
Thank you. Third speaker.
Do you have any questions or opposition team? Please come
Yes,
up
I
with your.
have a question. Yes, I have a
Okay,
question.
go on.
Imagine if you are an animal and you are being chased by a predator or poacher. Would you rather stay in a zoo or get eaten by the predator or poacher? That is the question.
Zoos are not safe for animals because the Department of the Zoos trade animals. As there is a report in India that there is a zoo called Bannerghatta. In there, the Department of the zoo trade animals body parts. So I want to say that zoos are not safe for animals.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, opposition team? Seeing none. But still you can continue.
Okay, so now it's turn of the third speaker of the opposition to extend the arguments in opposition of the resolution. Third speaker of the opposition, please.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yes, you are.
As the third speaker, I would like to say that many people think that animals living in zoos lose their instincts. For your information, it is not completely true, as zoos try to provide them in the same environment as in the wild, like adding lights, temperature, props, etc. They are provided with great healthcare facilities too. When wild animals are injured or abandoned, they take these animals and give them proper food and treatment. As a result, their chances of survival increases. Experts are deployed for taking care of these animals, as they know about their behavior and feeding habits. Moreover, they are under the supervision of zoo authorities, who are responsible for their well-being and also respond to emergency situations. When people closely interact with animals, they realize the value of the environment and the need to preserve the wild habitat. With these advantages for animals, zoos also provide education for children and adults. When families visit zoos, they get to witness animals which may not be possible to view in the local area. Zoos also give a chance to learn a lot of valuable information about each species. Zoos also offer tours that take you behind the scenes and show you how trainers feed the animals and work with them. At the end, I would like to say that if zoos are banned, then a lot more species would die out and people wouldn't be able to realize the importance of saving them. Nearly all zoo animals are born in captivity now, and captive breeding is a safe way to keep at least a small gene pool safe. They are a necessary evil, stopping mankind from destroying the planet. With this line, I would like to make sure that zoos should not be banned at all, as their primary goal is to preserve animal lives and bring seriously endangered species back from the edge of extinction. People going to zoos is just a perk to raise funds for food and running of these shelters.
30
In the
seconds.
end, I'm sure that nobody is in doubt that zoos should not be banned at all.
All right, thank you.
Do you want to ask any questions, proposition team?
Yes, I want to ask.
Yeah, go on.
How can you say that the temperature of the temperature and the other things are kept like the animal bonds? Because if a penguin is taken to a zoo in Rajasthan, how will it survive?
They will turn on the air conditioners and make the temperature cold for its room or wherever it is keeping, where the zoos are keeping them, so that they stay alive.
Okay, thank you. Any other question, proposition team? Okay, seeing none.
Okay, so now I invite the lead speaker of the proposition to sum up the team's arguments and further strengthen the case in favor.
I would like to sum up the valuable points spoken by my fellow team members for the motion. In the Animal Rights Act, the judgment of the Supreme Court also briefly deliberated upon the motion of granting animal constitutional right as to protect their dignity and honor. I and my proposition teammate Lakshya already highlighted on the abuse, torture, and alteration of behavior of animals in the zoos, which gives us important point to clear our doubts. My another teammate Dev Narayan highlighted on the absence of natural habitat and brutality faced by animals in the zoos. My opposition team members, do you feel that modern zoos in my country and in the world consider this aspect? As I highlight on the false sense of education, wrong concept of research, and illegal trade, will you agree with me in banning the zoos at the earliest? In the late 1998, the public education interest was filed against the Calcutta Zoo in Calcutta High Court about the way the birds and animals were kept in the zoo. For the first time in the history of 100+ years old Calcutta Zoo, I'm repeating my words. For the first time in the history of 100+ years old Calcutta Zoo, shackles of the elephants were removed. The people of ethical treatments of animals, PETA, India contacted the CCT founder and managing trustee of PFAC for the guidance to bring the same relief to the animals in the Mumbai Zoo. Yes, we cannot also argue that the things are not happening, but very slowly. Before we completely ban zoos in this century and make this part of wildlife free. Are we all listening? I and my team strongly believe that this debate will create a paramount awareness in banning the zoos in the near future. Finally, I would like to conclude my deliberation from a quote of Atharva Veda, 1000 BC. What of thee I dig out, let that quickly grow over. Let me not hit thy vitals or thy heart. My opposition team members, as I was hearing your speech, do you wish to make some other zoos for keeping human? Okay, you can keep them in special groups like Indian, Chinese, Europeans, Americans, Africans, and study their behavior.
30
Is that
seconds.
okay? An appeal to my opposition team members, let the human not only with the human, but also with the animal in each and every possible way. Let us come together and join this proposition team and stop the zoo in marching all over the India and the world. Thank you.
Thank you, proposition lead speaker. Now I invite the lead speaker of the opposition to sum up his team's arguments and further strengthen the case against the motion. Lead speaker of the opposition, please.
I think the second speaker of the proposition said that the money in which the people get by visiting a zoo are used in other activities. But no, they are not. They are used for the animals to keep their food supply good, their water supply, their cages healthy. They keep the animals healthy with that money. And I think one of you also said that they are not kept in very big cages. In small cages, they are kept. No, they are kept in the perfect cages for them. And also, you said that the in the captive breeding there is no space. I think there is another room very large in which there the animals are breeding, and then we get those animals. And also think about what the animals you are trying to save by saying that zoos are bad, and then think about the animals that have been saved by zoos that are here. With that being said, in conclusion, I want to convey that zoos are a happy and healthy place for animals in which every animal gets good supply of everything, and they live a comfortable and healthy life.
Thank you, lead speaker of the opposition.
So I congratulate all the debaters on their performances and I thank the audience for their attentiveness. This debate is now concluded. The result will be declared tomorrow and it will be posted in the WhatsApp group. Over to lead anchor.
Okay, so now I request our first judge, Mrs. Gurvinder Kaur, to say a few words on the performance of the participants. Please, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Firstly, I thank Mr. Jaskaran Singh for giving me this opportunity to judge the debate. All participants did well. I found their speeches quite structured and there was a good use of signpost. Arguments were well crafted and persuasive. So it is your ability to persuade others which makes you a good debater. In life also, people who speak logically and drive their points home persuasively are in lead roles in the society. In other words, these type of activities and especially the debates improve our critical thinking, the communication skills, teamwork, and our ability to put forward the perspective in an effective way. Now, developing these skills or abilities means that you are equipping yourselves for facing the challenges of life. I also like the format of this debate. Now, there is more scope for interaction, and this debate doesn't become monotonous as it happens in the traditional format. And I will surely like to implement this format in my school also. I again congratulate all the participants who put up an excellent show. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your views. Over to co-anchor.
Now I request our second judge, Mrs. Ritude ma'am, to share her views about today's debate. Ma'am, please.
Right, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. So today I've joined a bit late, but thank you, Jaskaran sir, for allowing me so many opportunities to be a part of these debates. So uh, it's an honor and it's a privilege to be a part of so many such enriching activities. Congratulations to each and every participant here. Somehow I feel this group, the younger generation, is more energetic. They put in a lot of efforts in finding the data. I could see that research work that has gone into finding so much of information about the history of zoo and the acts, the legal implications, the arguments presented in the courts. It's a difficult topic to gather all kind of information here. So I could see that the conviction coming out when they were talking. So congratulations, pat on your back, everybody who has gone into that deep information searching and come out, because this research, somewhere it gives you that ability to answer the questions, to interact more effectively with the people, and it gives weight to your arguments. So keep working like this only. Keep up the good work. I have enjoyed this discussion again today. Thank you, Jaskaran sir, for allowing me this opportunity once again. And all the boys, a very, very good job done. Everybody spoke so well today. I enjoyed it. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now I request our third judge, Mrs. Sheetal Chauhan, to say a few words. Ma'am, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible. I think ma'am is disconnected.
Sorry, she will rejoin. And we have Mrs. Shilpa Mehta with us, mother of Lakshya Mehta. Ma'am, can you switch on your camera? Yes. Okay, ma'am, I would like you to give some. Okay, ma'am, she is back, ma'am.
Yeah. My network, my connection is not stable, I think.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Jaskaran sir. I also thank you and BPS because when in the last debate I was asked to be a judge for the online debate, I was little apprehensive. I was little scared also, I must say, because I'm for the first time on this platform. Except online classes, I've been taking online classes on the online classes, but not judging a debate in this way. And thank you. And now I'm very comfortable and I can go for this. And secondly, I must thank all the board for giving me this opportunity. And thank you, sir, you also. This, boys, you were great. You were wonderful. Although this topic was so simple. Zoo should be banned. You have given.
I think her network is
in our zoos. We are locked down. We are locked in our home, so we can understand much better what they feel when they are living in the lockers. So debate. All participants have done very good jobs. Undoubtedly, they are doing research. Exactly, there's a objective behind this to develop their critical thinking, communication skills, and how to express your stance in the front of the audience, and how to put the question, and the definitely listening habit to be enhanced by conducting these debates. So all the best, Mr. Jaskaran Singh sir, and you are doing, we are very much proud of you. You are doing a great job, and looking forward for such debates in future too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.